This is a requested video that a particular brother wanted me to make on the topic of women who have multiple sex partners and how that will cause mental illness in these sisters. I spoke about this in many videos. Many videos on my page, I constantly speak on this particular issue, but I'll focus primarily on that in this video. When a woman is a virgin, let's just bring it down to simple terms. When a woman is a virgin, she is in her purest state. When a woman is a virgin and she never had any sexual contact with any man, she is pure, her mental state is sound, she has a sound mind, she's very calm, her thoughts are very well gathered. She knows how to focus on her education. She can pursue different things in life with ease. But what happens is, once she have that first sexual experience with a man in whom is no good, that is where all her problems begin. For the most part, over 90% of black women, possibly more, usually always lose their virginity to a man who ain't shit. These aren't good men. These men are evil. And what women don't understand, and even after this video they won't understand because some of them are very stubborn. Most men carry DNA. Their DNA is their sperm. The sperm of a man is simply his spirit. When a man ejaculates in a woman, whether a woman received that spirit through her vaginal area or whether she received it orally, anally, wherever soever that DNA is placed, that woman will go through what is called a metamorphosis. No matter how you put it, she will go through a change. Her body will begin to change, her thought patterns will begin to change, her mood will begin to change. If this brother have a good spirit, then that spirit will impart into that woman and she will become one with him, which means she will now begin to think like him, share in his mindset, do the things he do, enjoy the things he do. But if he's a wicked man, then that sister's character will be altered. Everything about her that was once pure will now be corrupted. And once a sister goes through that, she will begin to change mentally. This is where a lot of sisters go through a lot of changes and they have a lot of stress, a lot of problems, especially because they thought this man was going to marry them. You see, the average black woman, when she get with her first male in terms of sexual experience, she really believed that that man is going to marry her, settle down, have kids, and live happily ever after. But it never happens that way. Pretty much every single black woman who is watching my video right now, if you're watching my video right now, you know that the first man you ever slept with, he left your ass. He did. And for some of you, you may have learned your lesson and you may have gotten smart and realized that having sex with these men is not a joke. And you may have saved yourself for the right guy who came along, and you may have gotten married and everything was cool. For some of you, you continued making the same mistakes, which is not technically a mistake. A mistake is when you dial the wrong phone number. That's a mistake. You didn't mean to dial the wrong number, but it happened. But now when you choose to have sex with a man, you didn't make a mistake. So we don't want to call it a mistake. You made a bad choice. Now, some of you, you've continued down that road. What you have to understand is that the more men you have sex with as a black woman, white woman, Asian woman, it doesn't matter what woman you are, it all applies to all women. The more sex you have with men, different men, the more DNA from different men enters your body. When this happens, you will never be a stable woman ever again. This is why a woman who is in the porn industry will never settle down and be faithful to her man whatsoever. It's not possible. She has been totally turned out. She will always be a whore, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because the DNA from all these different men has altered her mind to the point where she don't know who is her man. The purpose for a man's spirit in his sperm entering a woman is so that he can basically secure his place in her heart. Once this happens, she becomes one with him. That woman goes through the metamorphosis where she begins to change and become the woman that man always desired. This now will make that woman recognize that this man here is her man. She will be loyal to him. She will never leave him. She will always be by his side. This is why when you see men who are very abusive to black women, these women seem to always stay stuck to them. You're wondering, why don't you leave this dude? He's abusing you. They just can't go. You know why? They're tied to this man through that DNA. But when a woman is sexually promiscuous with different men, all of that DNA from different men will destroy that woman's mental state. She won't know who is her man because each one of these brothers' spirits is in her. And the thing is, the spirit of a man stay in you as a woman. Literally, it stays in you. So the more men you fuck with, the more fucked up you become. And the problem with this is, if these men are wicked, it will totally fuck up your whole life as a sister. You'll notice your attitude will get worse and worse and worse. You will have so many different personality disorders. One minute you're this person, next minute you're that person. You're wondering why this sister has all these changes. She's a different person every day. One minute she's nice, next minute she's crazy, next minute she's bitter. What's wrong with her? She has different spirits of different men in her. You understand? The only way a woman can pretty much be secure and have a clear, thoughtful mind is when she deals with a righteous man who is a pure, sound, thinking brother. When this happens and she become one with him and he release his spirit in her, she will be a very powerful woman because that man will help her with his spirit. His spirit will actually amplify what kind of woman she is. So if you are a sister and you deal with multiple wicked men, it will only amplify your spirit into becoming worse and worse and worse. Now, the only way for a sister to get free from the dilemma of this mental condition is she have to connect sexually with a good man who is righteous, who have a connection to the Most High. When this brother release his spirit in her, what will happen is his sperm will remove all of the negative spirits that is in her soul. This is pretty much called the kill sperm. The more sex she have with this brother, the more of his DNA is released in her, the more it will remove all of the negative vibes from that woman's soul. The only problem is this sounds very easy, right? But the truth is, once a woman has had multiple experiences with nothing but thugs, goons, players, men who act like they're good men, but once they get you, they leave your ass. Once she had sex with all these different type of brothers, her natural preference of a man will always be a bad man. No matter how much of a good brother you is, these sisters will always gravitate towards the loser. I've seen this happen over and over and over. I see some of the most beautiful sisters. They always gravitate towards the guy who is no good. I'll look at the brother and know he's going to leave her once he has sex with her. She'll look at that and say, no, he's a nice guy. And I'm like, you are a dumbass. And guess what happened? She get pregnant, the man leaves. And I always tell myself, these women set themselves up for failure because their soul has been destroyed through whoredom. When women have multiple sex partners with different men, it's destroying their mind and causing them to be narcissistic. It's causing them to become crazy, delusional. They're going to be very, unstable, and they won't be able to hold a relationship together because they bring the past hurts from previous relationships into the new relationship, and now they look at the new man as the old man, and it just causes so much stress. This is why, as a black man, when you get with a sister who have kids from different men, and she's been sexually active with at least 5 to 20 other brothers, you are literally setting yourself up for death. Because that woman, number one, she's not going to be faithful to you. Number two, she is going to always have a mood swing. These mood swings are coming from the different spirits that reside in her. This is why the Bible says that once a woman gets married to a man, she is to remain married to him for life. And the only way she can be married to another man is if her current husband dies. In today's society, the white man tell you, sisters, you can pretty much go out there and get fucked by different dudes. You can give dudes head, swallow their fucking cum, and it ain't nothing. Because, you watch porn and you see they do it in porn and you figure, hey, I'll just do this for whatever guy I get with. So you get with any other man that you meet at a club, you swallow his load, he releases his spirit down your throat. His spirit is now working in your body. You may think you just had some quick sex, everything is good, you pleasured him and it's all done and that's it. No, his spirit is in you. It's no different than when you eat food and the food give you nourishment or whether it don't give you nourishment. Well, when you swallow a man's sperm, believe it or not, it is doing something to your body. If it's a brother who is a righteous man, who is healthy, who has a sound mind, full of wisdom, great character, then if you swallowed his cum, then that will absolutely rearrange your thought patterns to begin to be keen to the things that he is keen to in terms of knowledge. You'll be more receptive. You'll be more open to learning. All of these different things will happen because of your interaction with his spirit. When he busts his load in your pussy, you best believe that DNA from that righteous man will do something within you which will make you see how wicked most black men really are, not in terms of looking at the man you're with as if though he's wicked, but what will happen is his DNA, because he's a wise and righteous man, it will open your eyes to what is really going on in society. So no matter how the DNA from a righteous brother get in you, it will only benefit you in many different ways. No different than how food benefits you in different ways. Some food will benefit you, some foods won't. Well, some sperm will and some sperm won't. That's just the way it works. And if you're a sister and you're only dealing with wicked men, then you're going to have multiple sex partners. You see, once you get with a righteous brother who is good, you're going to only deal with that one man and you're not going to have no need for no other man. This is why women who technically only have one male sex partner in whom they're in a relationship with in terms of marriage, or whether you're just together with a brother that you're chilling with and it seems like he's a righteous brother and you're a sister and you're with him, you'll find that you really have no interest or desire in any other man. It's like no other man interests you. Even if another man may be handsome or whatever the case is, they just don't got what it takes to get you to leave the man that you're with, because the DNA of that good man keeps you locked into his love and into his world, and pretty much you're not going nowhere. You know what I mean? Especially if the sex is good and the way he treats you is good. Once all of those things are in place, you're going to be good to go. But if you're dealing with wicked men, the DNA of those wicked men will destroy your life. It'll corrupt you. It'll mess up your emotions. You'll become very emotional. You'll be crying out of nowhere. Some of you sisters, you go home, you cry at certain times and you wonder why you're crying, because you're very hurt. You're very bitter. You're lonely. You're sad. You want so much out of life and you're wondering why you got all these problems. It's because of the different men you dealt with, which caused them to keep their spirits inside of you, which always seem to make you attract the very same kind of man. And it's very frustrating because the solution is a righteous brother. But even though I say this, you sisters won't have no desire for a righteous man. A righteous man could be right in your presence. He could be a handsome brother, righteous. You still won't have no desire for him. Why? Because the DNA of wicked men is planted in you, and once that has had rooted in you, you're going to only gravitate towards wicked men. That is a truth, a serious, serious truth, and even biblical scriptures back up this. And it's something that you're not being taught in these churches, and it's the reason why there is so much chaos with our sisters with mental illness and all these other problems. So with that said, I hope that people learn something. Leave your comments, leave your feedback, leave your hate mail, rate, comment, and subscribe. We out. Peace.